Hello and welcome back to the Pariah Nexus for some more Kill Team. For this one we're continuing my crusade of self-inflicted pain, trying to find a way to deal with the brand new Marines that we've got out of this. For this one I think I might have a solution. We have some AdMech to go against them. It's a nice balance between ranged and melee power, so it'll be interesting to see how they play out on this one. We'll be doing another one of the match play missions, so let's dive into what the teams are and then go into the mission brief. Okay, so let's have a rundown of the Marine team. 125 points worth of Dark Angels. Leading the squad is a Heavy Intercessor Sergeant, obviously the leader specialist. Next to him is an Assault Intercessor Sergeant, who is a combat specialist with a Hand Flamer and Astartes Chainsword. Next to him, a regular Intercessor Sergeant with Hand Flamer and Astartes Chainsword. And a slight variation from last time, this heavy intercessor with the heavy bolter is not a sniper anymore, he is a heavy specialist. That probably works a little bit more in his favour. And at the back are three regular heavy intercessors. So pretty much the same team from the last game we played. Two reasons for doing that. One, it's a good control group for seeing which team which is firing against it performs better. But also I feel this is a potentially common list you may see for people, especially if they picked up Pariah and maybe like the Recruit Edition. This is probably going to be the two things you see commonly among more casual players when you go up against Marine teams. So I feel like it's a good baseline to test against. Also, we are testing purely against the heavy intercessors just to see if we can actually beat a list with them in it. So that was 125 points worth of Dark Angels. Okay then, so here we have 125 points of Forge World Lucius AdMech. Leading the squad is a Ranger Alpha with Arc Pistol and Arc Maul. Next to him is a Ranger Gunner with the Plasma Caliber, who is a Sniper Specialist. Two Fulgurite Electro Priests, one is a Zealot, one is a Combat Spec. There are two more basic Fulgurite Electro Priests at the back. Next to them is a Vanguard Alpha, again with Arc Pistol and Arc Maul. And two Vanguard Gunners with Plasma Calibers and one with an Arc Rifle, which gives us 125 points worth of AdMech. So, as for the mission, we are doing the Match Play Supply Horde mission. For this one, there are three objectives on the board. 1, 2, and 3, with objective 1 down there being the command node, if you have the secret objective related to that. Fine points all over the board on this one, with quite an interesting layout, terrain, and deployment. Deployment zone is this rectangle here from the halfway point 5 inches in all the way down to that edge, and they are of course symmetrical. So, going to be an interesting one here because you've got two objectives up here that are in technically your opponent's territory, so you may have to push forward onto their side in order to get them. So, let's get into deployment then and see who goes where. So, we'll roll 2d6 for deployment, see who goes first. AdMech gets 7, Marines get 7, roll them again. 6 for the AdMech, 5 for the Marines, AdMech to deploy. Okay then, so summing up deployment with Marines, the leader and the sniper as well as the zealot are all clustered up in this corner of their deployment zone. You've got the combat specialist down in the middle as well. So seems like they're mostly going for the mid-rush as well as objective 2 with an extra heavy intercessor down there as well to get a flank route off. Looking at the AdMech side, clustered down near the corner of theirs, it's mostly their ranged firepower with one of the Fulgurite Electro Priests to go with them. You've got the Sniper Gunner down there as well. Leader and Zealot are somewhat in the middle. Combat Specialist and the other Fulgurite are joining the Vanguard Alpha down there to try and push after Objective 1. So after deployment then, roll 2d6 to see who gets initiative for turn 1. AdMech gets 6. Marines get 8. Marines to go first then for turn 1. So, summing up Marine movement then. This heavy intercessor's gone into a dead sprint and has just got himself in capture range of objective 2 by running, so he can't shoot when it comes to the shooting phase. The assault intercessor, zealot and the leader have just stepped up to try and give him some support. The sniper with the heavy bolter is readying up as he got a good field of fire on objective 1. These two have just worked up normally with the combat specialist sitting directly on top of the objective, so there's 5 wounds total there for capture purposes, and the final heavy intercessor just milling his way down the side corridor to get a good line of fire later. So into AdMech movement then. Okay then, so summing up AdMech movement then, big charges into the middle here. So first the leader walked around and opened the door and stepped to the side for everyone else to get in. The Zealot charge first, locking up the Assault Intercessor and the Heavy Intercessor. The Assault couldn't see and was elected not to fire point-blank Overwatch, and the Heavy missed his shot, so he got in. That quickly followed by 2 other Fulgurite Electro Priests. None of the mortal wounds on a 6 went off though, however, and the Vanguard Alpha charged into the mob as well, just for flavour. Down here, the Arc Riflers moved forward, stepped into there, opened the door, and it's just down there, and can just see the Heavy Intercessor that advanced from down there. These Skitari all advanced to get to where they are. They all have the Plasma Caliber, so they can still shoot, but they'll be at a -1 to do so, and just the Sniper Spec got enough to sit on Objective 3. This Fulgurite advanced and managed to get just behind that wall there. So, that's movement done then, so going into the shooting phase, and it is Marines initiative, so Marines to fire first. So, standard heavy bolter, firing into him, you readied, you didn't move, you're a Dark Angel, so it is obscured, so you're hitting on 4s, but you get 3 shots rerolling 1s. Reroll that 1. Oh, nothing. Damn. Okay, going into regular shooting, because I've got no readied, and still Marines initiative. Okay then, so the Heavy Intercessor Sergeant is firing into the Sniper Specialist down there. So gets 2 shots with his Heavy Bolt Rifle. Is obscured, but not for the purpose of injury roll from where the Sniper is relative to him. So 2 shots hitting on 4s. Yep, so 1 hit. Strength 5, Toughness 3, wounds on a 3. Does. Because these are Forge World Lucius, the AP -1 from that Heavy Bolt Rifle does nothing. So 4 Palmer save for the Ranger. He's fine. Okay then, so the Sniper Specialist is going to fire back into the Heavy Intercessor Sergeant. So he advanced, so hitting on 3s becomes 4s, becomes 5s because he's behind cover. So let's spend a CP to use his Sniper ability to add 1 to hit. So he's hitting on 4s. Yep, which cancels out the fact he advanced. And he is a Sniper Specialist, so let's overcharge that Plasma Gun. So 2 shots hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. Both hits. Strength 8 versus Toughness 3, wounding on 3s. Neither. Let's reroll one of those real quick. Wounds on a 3. No! That's all my CP gone for the turn. Okay then, so the Intercessor Sergeant is firing his Hand Flamer into both of these, split firing. So 2d6, pick the highest for the Hand Flamer. Infinitely rolling dice. 3 hits. So where do you want to go?
2 on this guy, 1 on him.
Okay, so 2 on the closer guy to you. Strength 3, Toughness 3, wounds on 4s. Single. 4 Palmer save. Ooh, fails. Okay, so he's not next to cover as far as the injury roll is concerned, so 4, 5, 6 will kill him. He lives. Do you want to use a reroll?
Yeah.
Yeah? So rerolling for a CP. Kills him. Yep. First blood to the Marines. And this guy gets wounded on a 4. Does. 4 Palmer save for him as well. No. Injury roll, 4, 5, 6 to kill. Oh! The Plasma Gun is dead. Oh, not again. Alright. AdMech's next shot. Okay, so the Ranger Alpha is firing his Arc Pistol into that Heavy Intercessor. Usually hits on 3s, there's intervening stuff in the way, so hits on a 4. Nope. Heavy Intercessor is firing back into the Ranger Alpha, so he's obscured and Shroud Psalm's in effect, so it's hitting on a 5. 2 shots. Neither. Okay then, so going into the fight phase with a lot of charges from the AdMech. Okay then, so we'll start with the Combat Specialist first. Now he's going to use all 3 of his attacks into the Assault Intercessor Sergeant. Bearing in mind the Vanguard is also in the melee, so the Assault Intercessor Sergeant's toughness is reduced by 1 for the purposes of this. So, strength is +2, so it'll be a strength 5 attack with the Electrolytic Staff, but he gets 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. All of them. Strength 5 versus Temporary of Toughness 3, wounds on 3s. If it's a wound of 6, it instead suffers D3 mortal wounds. Oh, there we go. This one is D3 mortal wounds, and these 2 have AP of -2. So 2 5 or palm saves, please. Passes one. Fails the other. Okay then. So, rolling D3 damage for the regular one. Actually, no. For the mortal wounds. 3 damage. So, that's enough to go over. And do the other one for the regular. Yep, 3 as well. So, getting 3 dice for the injury roll then. 4, 5, 6 to kill. Yep, some 5s. The Assault Intercessor Sergeant dies. Okay, so the Vanguard Alpha has piled into the Heavy Intercessor. He gets 2 attacks hitting on 3s and is reducing the Heavy Intercessor's toughness by 1 because of innate ability. So, 2 attacks hitting on 3s. Both of them. Strength 5, temporary toughness 4, wounds on 3s. Both at AP of -1, so 2 4-up armor saves for the Heavy Intercessor. Passes them both, he's fine. Next, we'll get the Zealot Specialist to attack into the Heavy Intercessor, getting 3 attacks hitting on 3s. Completely whiffs. Finally then, the regular Fulgurites into the Heavy Intercessor. He only gets 2 attacks hitting on 3s. 1 hit. Strength 5 versus temporary toughness of 4, wounds on a 3. No, does not. Okay, so slaps back from the Heavy Intercessor then. He's just a regular one, so he only gets 2. So the Heavy Intercessor is slapping back into the Vanguard with both of his attacks. 2 attacks hitting on 3s. Both of them, strength 4 versus toughness 3, wounds on 3s. Single. 4-up armor save for the Vanguard Alpha. Nope, fails. 4, 5, 6 to kill. 3. It is a new phase. You could reroll if you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Reroll.
Going for the reroll then. 4, 5, 6 to kill. No. Gets a flesh wound. Flesh wound on the Vanguard. Okay then, so summing up the fight phase. The Fulgurite Electro Priest of the Combat Specialist managed to take out the Assault Intercessor Sergeant. Because of that, that has boosted his invulnerable save from 5 up to 3 up. Everybody else piled into the Heavy but couldn't land any damage, and the Heavy put a flesh wound onto the Vanguard. So, going into morale then. So, for the morale phase, the AdMech have 2 dead guys to 1 flesh wounded, and plenty of them alive and well. The Vanguard has a lot of his friends within 2 inches, so I don't think he'll need to take a individual nerve test. He couldn't really fail. Marines only have 1 dead and no flesh wounded, so no break or nerves for the Marines. So, let's go straight into scoring then. Okay then, so tallying up the scores then, the AdMech hold Objective 3, and because there are 4 wounds to the Marines 3 on Objective 1, it is currently AdMech controlled as well. They have also made a kill, which gives them 3 points off the regular mission. Marines own Objective 2 and made kills, so they managed to get 2 points. AdMech have also got a point for engage on all fronts, 1 for scavenge supplies for being in 3 different bits of terrain. Marines get secret objectives for death from afar and attrition. So, the total score then, currently for the AdMech is 5 to the Marines 4 as we go into turn 2. 2d6 initiative for turn 2. 9 for the AdMech, 8 for the Marines. AdMech initiative going into turn 2. Okay then, so summing up AdMech movement for turn 2. Sniper Specialist is readying up on Objective 3. He's quite happy where he is. This Fulgurite charged in, and because he's within an inch of both of those guys, he's tied them both up in combat, took no shots from the Overwatch. The Arc Rifle's just stepped up onto the other side there, but has not opened that door. And with this one, the Zealot has disengaged from the Heavy Intercessor and moved behind that wall there, which has allowed the leader to charge in and tie up that Heavy Intercessor so he can't escape. The Combat Specialist, who wasn't in melee because he killed his target last time, has instead charged that Heavy Intercessor there. So, some tying up in combats then for the AdMech as we move into Marines movement for turn 2. Okay then, so summarising Marine movement. Most are tied up in combat, so the only 2 that could move were this Intercessor Sergeant, who stepped up to Objective 2 and has flame range on the Sniper Specialist, and the Heavy, who has stepped up because he was clearly sensing a charge from the Zealot next turn, so has kept his distance and also has line on the Sniper Specialist. All the rest of the Marines are tied up in combat then, as we go into the shooting phase with Initiative AdMech, and they have a ready model. Okay then, so the Sniper Specialist is going to fire into the Assault Intercessor there with his 2 shots, usually hitting on 3s, hitting on 4s because of obscuration. He is a sniper, so let's overcharge this. Hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s, overcharge. 1 hit. Strength 8, toughness 4, wounds on a 2. Does for an AP of -3. So 6 up armor save for the Assault Intercessor. Fails it. Flat 2 damage. He is obscured, however, so 5-6 on either of these will be a kill. Neither. Let's spend that reroll. I want him gone. 5 or 6. Yes, that is a 5. That'll be a kill. You have 2 CP. Do you want to death deny? Spending 2 CP then for the Marines, for them to death deny. So instead of dying, that Assault Intercessor instead gets a flesh wound. So the heavy intercessor, heavy specialist with a heavy bolter, lots of heavies going on here, is going to fire into the sniper specialist. So there is some obscuration for intervening terrain, but not for the purpose of injury. He moved to get there, so he doesn't get his Dark Angels reroll 1s, but he has 3 shots hitting on 4s. 1 hit. Strength 5 versus toughness 3, wins on a 3. Does. Because these are Forge World Lucius, they ignore the AP -1 from the heavy bolter, so a 4 up armor save. Ooh, fails, and I've already used my reroll. So it's 2 damage from the heavy bolter. He is not obscured relative to where he is because he's not within an inch of the obscuring terrain. So 4, 5 or 6 on 2 dice will kill the sniper. Yep, that's a 4. Sniper's died, freeing up objective 3. Heavy Intercessor was charged, so can't fire his pistol, but the Vanguard Alpha remained in combat, so he can actually fire his arc pistol. He's once flesh wounded, so he hits on 4 up. Whiffs. Now it's the end of shooting. So going into the assault phase then, the fight phase. This guy charged, this guy charged, this guy charged. Okay then, so let's get to this Fulgurite Electro Priest to use both of his attacks into the leader. So 2 attacks, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s for the Canticles. Of course it's a 2. Okay, so the Fulgurite currently has 1 hit going in at Strength 5 versus Toughness 5, so I will spend the command point to re-roll the other hit. So hits on a 3 up, does, okay, so 2 are going through to the wound rolls then. Strength 5, Toughness 5, wounds on 4s, 6s go to D3 mortal wounds. 1 gets through. So, AP -2 on the Heavy Intercessor Sergeant, needing a 5 up armor save. Fails. No CP to reroll. D3 wounds onto the Heavy Intercessor. 2. So, doesn't take him to flesh wounds. He just instead has 1 wound remaining. Okay, so the Ranger Alpha charged in. He has 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. Rerolling 1s for the Canticles. Both hits. Strength 5 versus temporary toughness 4 because the Vanguard is in range, so wounding on 3s. Both at AP -1. 2 4 up armor saves, please. Makes 1. Makes both. Fine. Finally then, the combat specialist up there gets 3 attacks, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. Single, but that is a 6, so it goes to D3 mortal wounds, which goes straight through the armour. How many mortal wounds? 2. So this Heavy Intercessor here also goes down to 1 wound remaining. The Fulgurites here to fight into that Heavy Intercessor. So 2 attacks, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s for the Canticles. Reroll the 1. Misses. So 1 goes through. Strength 5 versus temporary toughness 4, wounds on 3s. No, doesn't. First Marine slap back. So the Heavy Intercessor is putting both of his attacks onto the flesh wounded Vanguard Alpha. So 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. Both wounding on 3s. 1 wound. 4 up armor save for the Vanguard Alpha. Fails it, I'm out of CP. He's once flesh wounded, so 3, 4, 5, 6 to kill. Yeah, he's dead. Vanguard Alpha croaks. So the twice regular wounded Heavy Intercessor into the combat specialist. 2 attacks, hitting 3s. Both wounding 3s. Single. The combat specialist has made an attack, so his invulnerable save is boosted to a 3 up. Which he fails. He has his 5 up, feel no pain. Which he fails! 4, 5, 6 to kill the combat specialist. Oh, flesh wounded. He's still in it. He is still in the fight. Flesh wound on the combat specialist. So, Sergeant that's twice wounded, he gets 3 attacks, hitting on 3s into the Fulgurite. 3 hits, wounding on 3s. 2 of them. 2 5-up invulnerable saves. Makes 1. 1 5-up feel no pain. He doesn't feel pain. Then you've got this heavy intercessor here to slap back into the same Fulgurites. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. Both, wounding on 3s. Also both. 2 5-up invulnerable saves. Makes 1. 1 5-up feel no pain. Oh, he feels that pain. So 4 5 6 to kill. Dead! Dead! Oh no! It's all going wrong for the AdMech. Okay, and that's everyone for the fight phase, I believe. Yep.
Yeah.
So all the fights are done. So let's go into morale real quick. Okay then, so going into the morale phase, the AdMech have 5 dead, 1 flesh wounded versus 4 alive and well. So we do need to do a break test. Stuck on the high surviving leadership, which is the Zealot Specialist over there at leadership 8. So I need to get 8 or under on 2 dice to be fine. Get 7. AdMech as a whole are fine. That Fulgurite up there, however, does have a flesh wound. There are 5 of his friends dead, and his friend is within 2 inches, so becomes effectively 4 against his leadership. So 1 to 4, he stays standing. He stays standing. So the AdMech team is still functional at the end of the morale phase, but that could change on a hair. And Marines only have 1 flesh wounded, the rest are on regular wounds, so they don't need to break or nerve check. So let's tally up scores for the end of turn 2. So scoring for the end of turn 2, the AdMech don't have objective 3 anymore. Objective 1 is currently the Marines, they have more wounds on it, and the AdMech have not made a kill this turn. They get no points for that, they don't get engaged on all fronts, they don't get scavenging supplies, no additional points for the AdMech. Marines, on the other hand, hold objective 2, hold objective 1 and have killed 1. They get 3 points for that. They also get an additional point for death from far and attrition. So, current scores are 5 to the AdMech and 9 to the Marines as we go into turn 3. Roll 2d6 initiative for turn 3. 9 for the AdMech. 11 for the Marines. Marine initiative going into turn 3. Okay then, so summing up Marine movement. This Intercessor Sergeant advanced to get onto Objective 3. These 2 have walked up normally to sit on 2. This one's come round to sit onto the side, try and get a good firing angle on where this guy might go next. This Heavy Intercessor is remaining in combat on Objective 1 because he's planting his chunky arse on there, making sure the Marines still have it. This one has elected to fall back out of combat. So, going into AdMech moves then for turn 3. Okay then, so summing up AdMech movement for turn 3. The guy with the arc rifle has moved forward, removed the door, and is behind that wall now, and has got a good line down onto Objective 2. For this one, the leader has stepped back out of combat, the Zealot has recharged back in, and the combat specialist has just made a fallback move to there, so he's in contention of the objective. So, going into the shooting phase then, with Initiative Marines. So, first shot for the Marines. Heavy Specialist is firing into that guy with the arc rifle up there. He didn't move to get there, so he doesn't get his Dark Angel's benefits, and the target is behind cover. So, 3 shots, hitting on 4s. 2 hits, wounding on 3s. Single. 4 up armor save, since Forge World means that the AP1 is ignored. Yeah, he makes it, fine. So the Vanguard Gunner with the arc rifle fired both of his shots into the Sergeant. Completely unobstructed line of view there. So 2 shots hitting on 3s. Both of them. Strength 6 versus toughness 5, wounds on 3s. Both at an AP -1. 2 4-up armor saves. Fails 1. So in the open relative to the shot. So 4 5 6 to kill. Flesh wound. Let's spend a reroll. Needing that 4, 5 or 6. Gets the 4. Do your death deny. Okay, so electing not to spend the points for the death deny. So the Sergeant is killed and removed. So AdMech get a kill. And secret objective, cut off the head. Take away the enemy leader, 5 minus the turnaround, 5 minus 3. 2 points for cut off the head to the AdMech. So 2 shots from the heavy intercessor to that guy that took out his leader, hitting on 4s. Yep, 1 hit, wounds on a 3. Does 4 up armor save. Loves it. Okay then, so summing up shooting phase, not particularly much happened because not many people can shoot, but the Astartes leader was taken out by 2 shots from the arc rifle. So, moving into the fight phase now. Okay then, so moving into the fight phase, the AdMech do have 1 charger. It's that Fulgurite Electro Priest Zealot there. He gets 3 attacks on the charge, hitting on 3s. Single. Yeah, let's let it slide. +1 strength on the charge, so strength 6, toughness 5, wounds on a 3. Does for an AP -2 strike, so a 5 up armor save for that guy. Nope. It is D3 damage. 1 damage. So 1 wound onto the heavy intercessor. Okay, so splitting attacks 1 each. So 1 into the Zealot first, hits on 3. Does, wounds on a 3. Also does 5 up invulnerable save for the Zealot. Makes it, he's fine. Your second attack onto the regular Fulgurite, hits on a 3. Does, wounds on a 3. Also does 5 up invulnerable save. Nope, 5 up feel no pain. He feels the pain. He's also pressed up against a wall, so 3, 4, 5, 6 will kill.
I'm going to reroll that.
Yep, spending the reroll. 3, 4, 5, 6 to kill. Yeah, he's dead. He's dead, gone. Right, and nobody else can strike in that fight phase. So, going to morale then. Okay, still need a break test for the AdMech. So, highest leadership is still 8. So, I need 8 or less on 2 dice. 8 exactly. The AdMech is still in it. This guy, though, has a flesh wound, so he needs to take a nerve test. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dead friends, but he's next to 2 of his buddies, so that reduces it to 4. 8 minus 4. 1 to 4, he stays standing. He stays standing. As for Marines, they have 3 dead, 1 flesh wounded, so they don't need to break, and I don't think he can fail his nerve, because he's a sergeant. So 8 mark, yeah, he can't fail his nerve. So going into scoring then. Okay then, scoring for turn 3. Marines have both objectives 2 and 3. Objective 1 is contested. There are 3 wounds on each side in range of that objective, so neither gets that. However, Marines did get a kill on the AdMech this round. So they score a full 3 points for that. The AdMech score 0. The AdMech did score 2 for cut off the head, however, for killing the leader on turn 3. And no more secret objectives for the Marines that they scored this round. So currently the total is 8 to the AdMech and 12 to the Marines as we go into turn 4, the final turn. 2d6, initiative for turn 4. 6, 7, Marines to go. Okay, so summing up movement for the final turn then. First off, this Marine tried to charge in and failed, didn't get enough with his 2d6. This one elected to stay in combat, and as a result the combat specialist had a very easy charge to get back in. The leader has advanced and gone round and into there, and the guy with the arc rifle has just walked normally over to there. The rest of the Marines down here have all readied up. So, going into the shooting phase then, initiative Marines. Okay then, the heavy specialist is firing into the leader, gets 3 shots, hitting on 4s for obscuration, but re-rolling 1s for Dark Angels. 2 hits, wounding on 3s. Both. 2 4 armor saves, because they ignore the AP 1. Fails 1, I've got CP to burn, let's try and re-roll this one, 4 up. Yeah, he's fine. Next ready shot, which should be this guy.
He's going to shoot at this guy?
Yep, so in range, 2d6 auto hits. Pick the highest. 4 hits. Strength 3, toughness 3, wounds on 4s. Ooh, 1 of them. Okay, 4 armor save for that guy. Passes, he's fine.
That guy's ready as well at the moment.
Yes he is, and I don't think he can see because there's a hard wall there.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think he can get a line of sight from there.
No problems.
Yep, so AdMech shoots back then. Guy with the arc rifle will fire twice into that assault intercessor. So, is obscured from that wall there. So, 2 shots hitting on 4s. I've already re-rolled. And this guy with his arc pistol might as well fire into him. 1 shot hits on a 4. No. Sigh. Okay, so whole lot of not much happening in the shooting phase. Going into the fight phase. So, that combat guy did charge in. He gets his 3 attacks. He is currently flesh wounded, however, so hits on 4s. Oh, actually, start the fight phase because of the canticles. Both of them get to deal a mortal wound onto a 6. So this one onto him on a 6 deals a mortal wound. Nope. And the other guy. I haven't got a 6 all game for that. Okay, so, yep. Attacks from him to him. The combat specialist is flesh wounded. 3 attacks hitting 4s. 2 hits. Strength 5, toughness 5, wounds on 4s. 6s go to mortal wounds. Well, both of them. 2 AP -2 saves, please. 2 5-ups. Fails both. D3 on both. 2 and 1. So we'll use the 2 because that puts him onto his flesh wounds. 2 damage, pressed up against a wall. 3, 4, 5, 6 on any of these. That's a 6, he's dead. Do you want to death deny? You've got your 2 CP.
Yeah, I'll
yep.
death deny.
Spending 2 CP for death deny. Instead of dying, he gets a flesh wound. So, 2 attacks from the heavy intercessor. Where are they going?
Who's not shot me?
The zealot hasn't struck yet.
Yeah, I'll shoot him then.
2 hits. 2 attacks. Hitting on 3s. Both. Wounding on 3s. Both. 2 5-up invulnerable saves. Nope. 2 5-up feel no pains. No. 1 damage though, so 1 injury roll. Not pinned up against the wall. 4, 5, 6 to kill. Dead. Whoop. Away goes the zealot. So, going straight into morale. I need to see if the AdMech have broke. We've still got an alive guy with leadership of 8. So 8 or less. 7. So the team doesn't break. He does have a flesh wound though, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dead friends next to him. I'll spend a CP for insane bravery to just keep him upright. Okay, so scoring for the end of the game then. That guy's still alive, so the AdMech do not hold that objective. They didn't make a kill, they get nothing off the regular mission. Marines hold all 3 objectives at this point and got a kill, so they've maxed out that at 9 points from the regular mission. They also got 2 points from Death on the Far, 3 from attrition, and 3 for area secured because they hold all 3 objectives at the end of the game. Whereas the AdMech only have 1 for scavenge, 1 for engage, and 2 for cut off the head. So, final scores are 7 for the AdMech and 17 for the Marines. I think the Marines might have clinched it, you know. They might have just squeaked in a victory there. Yeah, just got past the line. Oh boy, I thought I was almost onto something there.
To start with, yeah.
Yeah, like it nearly went really well for the AdMech, and then it didn't. It did not go well at all in the end. I think what helped me is the fact that you went first. If I had to go first, then I wouldn't have got that turn 1 charge, and then I wouldn't have even had the success I had initially. But losing 2 of my plasma gunners right at the start, not being able to kill, especially because constant death denying, and also the fact that just 1 guy, even when he's getting slapped from all angles, can hold an objective because he had 3 starting wounds. I think the thing for holding an objective needs to be wounds currently, wounds remaining, so it degrades. I think that's the only way you could really have that as a balancing thing, because yeah, sure, you've bought a model with multiple wounds, it's expensive to do so, you should get a benefit for doing that, but as he gets slapped down, that should go away, I think. But anywho, that's my thoughts from the game anyway, but it was still a very good nail-biting match, so very happy with that one. So, thank you very much for joining us on this. I have still yet to find anything to break a basic Marine team with these changes, so back to the drawing board for me. So, hopefully I'll see you in another one then, and we'll catch you in some more Kill Team later.